Beneath the frozen silence of Russia's far north, scientists once pierced the skin of the planet, a wound that whispers to this day. They called it the Kola Superdeep Borehole, a scientific marvel and a geologic descent into fear itself. What began as pure curiosity would soon become a descent into something no human was prepared to face. In the early 1970s, Cold War competition ignited a race not toward the stars, but into the Earth's heart. Soviet scientists dreamed of touching the mantle, peeling back secrets buried for billions of years. But as their drills screamed deeper, strange tremors rattled the ground, as if the planet itself was protesting their intrusion. At over 7 miles deep, this pit was more than a hole, it was an open mouth into a molten mystery. Temperatures far exceeded expectations, rising hotter than any model had predicted. The rock seemed alive, its composition shifting unnaturally as if ancient forces stirred within the crust. The deeper they went, the stranger the data became. Metallic readings pulsed and vanished without reason, instruments failed, and voices crackled over comms with interference that no one could trace. Some claimed the interference was not mechanical at all, but vocal, whispering noise patterns that formed phrases in no known language. Samples lifted from the deepest chambers revealed fossils of microscopic life, entombed at depths never thought habitable. These organisms, colorless and deformed, hinted at biological resilience, and perhaps something else. Scientists who analyzed them reported migraines, nosebleeds, and nightmares of eyes watching from the rock walls. By the 1980s, the borehole became a dark legend among geologists. Visitors described unease near the site, an invisible vibration running through the permafrost, like a subterranean heartbeat. The wind above sounded hollow, rolling over the steel cap sealing a place humanity was never meant to open. Locals in Murmansk whispered old stories, of cursed mines and gods buried beneath Arctic stone. They began calling the borehole the door to hell. Though dismissed as folklore, the title clung to it stubbornly, as if the earth itself wanted the name remembered. Audio technicians once lowered sensitive microphones into the shaft, eager to capture deep earth acoustic signatures. What returned was a soundscape of groans, rumbles, and something that chilled every listener, the faint, agonized wailing that no geological process could explain. Western scientists heard whispers of this recording. Rumors spread through conferences and classified archives, that what they had captured was human-like, yet layered in impossible echo. The Soviets abruptly discontinued sharing any new data, claiming equipment failure and funding cuts. Drilling suddenly stopped in 1989, the official explanation was simple: unbearable heat and pressure made continuation impossible. But unofficial voices inside the program spoke differently. They said instruments melted not from heat but from resonance, the earth itself vibrating as if a buried heart screamed back at them. The borehole was then sealed, welded shut with a metal lid that now rusts amid Arctic ice. Travelers who approached said the air around it feels heavy, the ground beneath humming faintly. Even animals stepped wide around the enclosure, ears twitching toward that slow rhythm below. Over time, strange magnetic fields distorted compasses and satellite readings over the region. Pilots avoided direct flight paths above it, reporting unexpected interference. Some instruments indicated a faint electromagnetic pulse surging upward in intervals, like a breath from below. Those who returned to the site decades later found it changed, silent, yet somehow aware. Rusted equipment seemed slightly displaced from archival photos, as though moved by invisible hands. Scratches appeared on the metal lid, not from tools or weather, but from inside. Rumors in scientific circles suggest unmarked teams visit the sealed borehole every few years under heavy secrecy. Night operations, strange drilling sounds, glows beneath frost, they all go undocumented. Whatever is being monitored there, it's not ordinary geology. The temperatures recorded inside the borehole defy conventional logic, varying wildly between readings. Some samples emitted vibrations at frequencies outside audibility, measurable only through seismic conversion. Researchers began suspecting an unknown energy flux moving beneath the crust. Borehole data revealed rock layers twisting as though kneaded by force, not formed naturally. Crystalline structures down there were impossible, aligned in patterns suggestive of design, not accident. The shapes implied geometry in stone, geometry that remembers. Decades later, a few surviving engineers still speak of dreams, spirals of molten corridors and whispering corridors of red light. Their accounts read more like feverish confessions. Perhaps the mind, like the planet, breaks under too much depth. Satellite imagery occasionally detects faint heat signatures outlining the sealed cap. No geothermal registry can explain this pulse. It's as though the Earth vents an emotion, rage or warning, through the forgotten wound in the Arctic permafrost. The midnight sun vanishes and long polar night claims the land, the borehole seems to awaken. Locals report faint rumblings that rattle window panes and melt patches of snow near the site. Even now, they say the metal lid sometimes emits low thuds like distant drums beneath feet of ice. Researchers who handled archived drill data in Moscow describe erratic thermal signatures missing from public logs. Those suppressed findings indicated transient spikes exceeding any mantle heat model. Something beneath was generating its own energy source, separate from Earth's known core processes. In whispered academic corridors, a new hypothesis formed, that the borehole didn't just penetrate rock, but breached a pressure domain, an ancient pocket sealed since primordial time. What lies in such confinement could challenge not just geology, but theology itself. A field investigator who visited in 2005 claimed strange audio still resonated when stethoscope devices touched the lid. The pattern resembled rhythm and repetition, like speech muffled through layers of density. He fled the site after the devices began heating uncontrollably in his hands. Occasional tourists post silent videos online, showing the lonely steel plate and barren horizon. But close listening reveals distant rumbles under the Arctic wind, each gust timed strangely consistent. It's no wonder conspiracy forums call it a planetary heartbeat. Deeper scientific archives, some papers suggest the borehole approached metamorphic transitions too complex for human tools. Instruments began registering vibrations akin to biosignals, patterns found only in living organisms. The impossible implication, something alive waits far below our feet. Could this life form have been trapped since the dawn of the planet's cooling? Fossil layers at that depth tell of vanished microecosystems, locked in timeless sleep. If awakened by mechanical intrusion, perhaps it remembers the pain of being pierced again. One geophysicist once remarked that the deeper they drilled, the more consciousness the data exhibited. Phase shifts responded to observation, random noise organized into answers. The further mankind reached into its oldest foundation, the more the planet seemed to look back. Legends now crowd the shadows of scientific truth, the screams of the damned, the cursed Soviet experiment, the forbidden hole. But between folklore and fact lies unease, an aching question, lingering like sulfur in air. Did they really stop at 7 miles, or did they reach something listening? Today, Arctic explorers find the site mostly forgotten, yet maintained, its coordinates barely marked, its road cleared of snow. Guard posts appear at random intervals, no official insignia on their uniforms. Visitors leaving the area often experience ringing in their ears for hours. Thrill seekers and skeptics come seeking proof, yet electronics fail minutes after crossing the perimeter. Power banks drain, cameras freeze despite warmth. The air grows dense, humming faintly, as though static builds from below the crust waiting to be released. Imagine 7 miles of steel, darkness, and molten whispers pressing upward, each layer a history of fire and birth. Down there, where time crushes itself, human instruments become fragile toys. Every sound echoes longer than physics allows. Some say the borehole is hibernating, sealed by human fear yet active in geological memory. With every tremor, it reminds the world of our hubris. The earth stores its wrath patiently, beneath layers of stone, waiting for the next hand that dares to touch. Satellite heat sensors occasionally flash a singular spike at the borehole's coordinate, precise, breath-like, rhythmic. If so, something still lives beneath, pacing, restless. Perhaps it waits for the right resonance to rise and meet us. Kola Superdeep Borehole still exists, unassuming yet dreadful, an open scar dressed in steel. Every few decades, whispers reignite, headlines flirt briefly, then vanish again. Like a secret the planet refuses to disclose, it slumbers between science and nightmare. In the end, the question remains whether mankind dug too deep into its origin story. Beneath that frozen crust lies either science's boldest achievement or its most haunting mistake. The echoes that rise are not only sounds from below, they are reflections of our deepest curiosity turned against us. The Kola abyss reminds us that some gateways must remain closed, sealed beneath ice and silence. Beyond that threshold, light fades, pressure crushes reason, and whispers turn into roars of ancient memory. The abyss watches, biding its time until someone listens again.